first up, is breakfast important? If I said it was no, I'd probably get a banana shoved somewhere. Hello. Hello, Nicola. Hey, we're a bit excited about what I'm seeing down on this table. It's very cool.
Yes, well, there's lots of different things we can have for breakfast, and I think that the word itself actually sort of says how important it is, because breakfast is a breaking of the fast. You've fasted from when you had the meal the night before, right through, 12 hours sometimes, or even more sometimes. Yeah, if you're lucky. So it's really important to start that eating back again in the morning, of course, and making sure you don't miss your breakfast. Really important to get that meal in. And
excuses are, I don't have time. Just too busy for breakfast. But you've got some good options here, though, if you are busy.
Well, I think, the stats say that young people who have breakfast do perform better at school. I mean, you can imagine if you're hungry and you're sitting in the classroom, you're not going to be thinking about what's happening in front of you, are you? You'd be thinking, gosh, when can I next get some food? And it's often if you miss breakfast, when you do actually get hungry and you grab something for morning tea, it won't be as nutritious as what you would have had if you had your Weet-Bix to start the day, or toast with something on it, or your normal breakfast.
Well, you're running on empty already, aren't you, before you even start the day? That's the whole point, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So what kind of foods make a good breakfast then?
Okay, so you need 3 different types of food to make a really good breakfast together. You need your carbohydrate portion, so something like a breakfast cereal or toast, or even rice or something like that.
Okay.
Then you need some protein, so you might have your milk or your yogurt or an egg on toast, something like that. And then you need your fruit and vegetable component, because that gives you all your nutrients that really keep your motor running. So your protein and your carbohydrate, that combination give you lasting energy, make you last through to lunchtime, or at least morning tea. So here's a couple of examples of those. So we've got the protein and the yogurt there, but you could also have that in your milk, your carbohydrate portion with your muesli, and then add some fruit there. You've got your fruit and vegetables.
Oh, that granola looks very tasty indeed.
Does look tasty, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that.
Let's toast it. So you can have natural or toasted, can't you?
You can, So
is it just flavour? Is it the only difference?
Well, with the toasted one, you add a little bit of oil, a little bit of juice. Some recipes add a little bit more than others. But it's just getting that combination and then popping it in the oven for a while. That makes that different combination. So you don't need to add, obviously, the oil and the juice if you are having, or the honey or something like that, if you're not toasting it.
Right,
it is strictly a bit more healthy, Now this one here I really love, because this is known as the monkey roll. This is peanut butter and a piece of bread. Really simple idea for kids who are rushing out the door, and mornings are always crazy, aren't they? So that's an example that meets the criteria there. Also, the peanut butter is the protein, carbohydrate, and you've fruit there. So there's lots of different ways. Egg on toast, all sorts of different ways.
Nothing beats eggs on toast, seriously, does it?
Eggs on toast, and add some tomato to get your vegetables, or add a piece of fruit, so just to make sure you get those nutrients in as well.
Because it is a balancing act, isn't it?
Yes, it is,
Okay, so stating the obvious, but what are the baddies? I mean, crikey.
Well, you want to avoid your really high sugar ones. They just sort of give you the sudden zap, and then you're drained for the rest of the morning. So a lot of cereals are about 30% sugar. So your Cocoa Pops, your Nutri-Grain even is about nearly 30% sugar. Those circular ones that are all different colours, I can't even think what they're called.
Hoops or something? Fruit hoops or something.
That's it. So try and avoid the high sugar ones. Good old Weet-Bix, porridge, I mean, they're the staples.
Exactly.
And you can add your fruit, you can add your yogurt, you can make them a bit fancier and sort of tailor it to your own likings. And a really high fat breakfast, you can have a lovely savoury bacon and eggs and vegetables, tomatoes and mushrooms and things, without having a massive oily fry up. So, you just feel awful if you have a really high fat breakfast, don't you? So
what I quite like is just having poached eggs. I love poached eggs.
Yes.
But some avocado.
Yes, that's
lovely.
And
the bacon, but no toast or anything like that. I just tend to have those there. And it doesn't feel too heavy, because that's the thing, isn't it? If you have a heavy breakfast, then you do feel very lethargic sometimes, can't you?
Absolutely. It's not a good start to your day at all.
It's not a good start to your day at all. Because our children, you talked about children out the door. I mean, we've probably all seen it at least child walking down the street with a packet of biscuits for breakfast.
Yeah, and if there's many teenagers don't feel like breakfast that first thing in the morning, so make sure you pack them off with something like a breakfast that they can have when they feel like that later in the morning, rather than them scooting off to the tuck shop or trying to get something that's less healthy. Pack something, you know, a monkey roll.
I love
some
this.
yogurt and some cereal. You can get your little packets of cereal or put that in a little bag. Yeah, something breakfast-like to have to start with.
Just being savvy. So what's the extra benefits then?
Well, it's actually quite interesting. Obviously, we've talked about children doing better at school and even adults being able to concentrate better at work. But it's also linked to less obesity. So you're less likely to become obese later in life if you're a breakfast eater. And you're more likely to have a healthy diet in general. So eating more fruit and vegetables and milk is one thing that research showed. And also that children are less likely to eat pies and lollies and a lot of junk food. So it's great news if you start your day with breakfast.
Exactly. It's a no-brainer. And tomorrow, very cool indeed. We've got the granola recipe tomorrow on location with you. And try that also on your apple crumble.
Oh yes, that would be delicious.
Yummo, I know, too good. Okay, thanks for joining us. Remember, nourish.org.nz for those details.